Welcome to the Ogden City Council's quick meeting recap for the work session and special City Council meeting that took place on Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. In the work session, representatives from Ogden's CED department provided an update to the council. The update highlighted Ogden's growth in property values and population over time as it relates to the surrounding communities. It was reiterated that Ogden's property tax revenues only cover a portion of the city's operational costs. The presentation also showed that despite the decline in tax rate over the years, the city has still been able to provide additional services such as new park property and a new community center. The council then reviewed and discussed the next steps regarding consideration for a new flag design for Ogden City. Council members provided their top 5 flag design rankings from the top 10 designs as recommended by the Design Review Committee to council staff. The field of design options will be narrowed to 3 based on the council's rankings. The council discussed next options, which include getting feedback from the administration, Design Review Committee, and Youth Council on the top 3 design options before final consideration. This will be discussed in another work session before the consideration of the final design. The council, also acting as the RDA, reviewed and discussed a proposed LTDA and reimbursement agreement for property at 550 24th Street. The proposed LTDA is between the RDA and Henry Walker Construction LLC for the transfer of 2.7 acres of property for the development of 26 townhome units. The proposed reimbursement agreement would reimburse the developer for the construction of a new Porter Avenue public street on the same property. Some council members expressed concerns about the process of how the developer was chosen. This will be considered in the RDA meeting on March 21st. The council, also acting as the RDA, then reviewed and discussed a proposed policy for the developer selection process. The proposed policy establishes procedures for the RDA for the selection of developers. This policy was developed by the RDA board, administrative staff, and city attorney. Some key elements of the proposed policy include creation and maintenance of a database of potential developers, establishes 3 ways developers can be selected, including public solicitation, sole source/direct negotiation, and unsolicited proposal. Some council members expressed a desire to add language to the policy to indicate that RFQs and RFPs should include notice that the project may provide an incentive to the developer. The proposed policy will be considered in the meeting on March 21st. After a public hearing in the council meeting, the council adopted an ordinance regarding a historic resource designation. The ordinance designates the single-family home and detached garage in the Fort Bingham area at 136 West 2nd Street on the Ogden City Register of Historic Resources. The designation will help ensure the preservation and character of the home and garage, and any proposed changes to either would have to be pre-approved by the city's Landmarks Commission. The council then voted to extend the consideration of a proposed ordinance to eliminate requirements for newspaper notices. Based on recent state law, cities are no longer required to publish land use notices in the newspaper. The proposed amendments would remove the newspaper noticing requirements for street name changes, subdivision code section changes, street and alley vacations, zoning ordinance changes and rezones, general plan amendments, and designations to the local historic register. The amendments are proposed to bring Ogden's code in line with state notification laws. Some council members expressed concerns on the proposed ordinance and want to receive additional information before taking action. The entire recording from the meetings of March 14th can be accessed on the Ogden City Council's Facebook page and podcast with timestamps to skip to specific agenda items. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to the council office at 801-629-8153 or send an email to citycouncil@ogdencity.com.